First time this thing's seen grease since last spring. Now here's one everybody always forgets to grease. This one doesn't have to be greased as often as your loader, but should be greased within, I'd say, like every 15 to 20 hours of use, where your loader should be like every 10 hours. And you always want to bring a screwdriver with you because it's always full of crap. Now the grease gun I'm using here is a Milwaukee M12. This grease gun I've had for a little while now. It's a really good grease gun. I have no problems with it. At work I use the M18 version, which is a little bit nicer. For one, I think it's brushless, where this is brushed, and for two, it's got the dial on top where you can actually dial in how many pumps you want. Both of them work really well. They're extremely easy to change the tubes in, very quick to bleed the grease out. I never have any problems bleeding them. It's just a really good buy. All right, so now we got the tractor all greased up. We can get her loaded up because we are heading to Sean's house. We got some repair work on his driveway, nothing serious, just a couple low spots, and he wants me to add a little walkway. We got around 5 tons of stone that I already had delivered there. So let's get this thing loaded up and we'll head over there. So I was strapping down this trailer a little bit differently than my old trailer. Found out what works best is if I drop the bucket down and drive up to this steel rod here that's been welded to the trailer. Seems like a perfect spot for the weight distribution. It's got enough tongue weight, it's just perfect. And I could also butt it up against that rod and then hit the e-brake, which sets it nice and tight up against it. And then what I do is I come across like I used to, one on each end from the front of the tractor here. I come off that on each end to the sides of the trailer. And in the back, instead of doing one from each direction here diagonally, I just do a center strap coming down the middle here. You can see I wrap it around that post and go to there. It's not the best way, but definitely a lot better. Just because of the way this trailer is, I don't have any D-rings on it yet, which I want to weld some onto it. But because where I hook the strap is facing this way, it's kind of a lot of tension on the strap, and it's putting a lot more force laterally than it should be, you know what I mean, front to back. So this seems to work the best, and I don't have any movement whatsoever with the tractor. It's nice and stable, and makes me feel a little bit better. All right guys, so we're up at Sean's house. You can see I parked over here on a road so that I can leave the driveway open to work in. Here's the stone I've got over here. This is 5 ton of crushed limestone, crusher run. This is 1 inch minus, what I always use. A lot of rock dust in it that holds it all and binds it all together. Really good stuff. Same stuff he's got in his driveway now. Looks a little bit different because when they grind it all up, it just has this really nice gray color. Then as the rain washes it off and whatnot, it ends up looking more like this here. So that'll match this real nicely. As far as the driveway goes, he's got some low spots and some high spots. I did this driveway, if you guys remember, and I'll link the video right here where I spread, I think 20 ton. I think it was a couple years ago. I spread 20 ton of stone here and redid this whole driveway. It's still got a nice taper going off to each side, and it's still nice and high. But after a few years now of it all packing down, settling, the harsh winters up here in New York and all the plowing and whatnot, it's got a couple low spots. So one of the bigger low spots is right over here, right where you pull out. It's probably where you kind of spin the tires as you pull up. You can see this patch right here that doesn't really match the rest of it. This whole area right here is low. So we're gonna build that up, make this ramp a little bit nicer going up. I'm gonna smooth it out. And then coming through here, we just got a couple little tiny divots and stuff, a couple little low spots here, low spot here and over there. And over here, it's all like high right here. Like, I think he raked his lawn out, and then a lot of it got raked right here, because I could tell this is like a little bit of a shelf compared to here. So I'll smooth that out with the bucket and kind of taper that down. We want to leave the driveway higher than the lawn. That way the rainwater brushes off of it, which is what it's been doing, aside from these few low spots. It's a little bit low here, which isn't too bad. And the big thing is, he wants me to dig this out here. He wants me to make a new pathway going to his stairs right here. He wants me to come off right around where the existing one used to be. So I'm gonna dig this sod out, coming around here. I might do a square, I might do it round, I haven't decided yet. But I'm just gonna do about the width of the bucket here, coming around to these stairs here. And then we'll fill that in with stone. It'll look nice, it'll clean this up, so it's not all blotchy and patchy. He also wants me to do a couple other things though while I'm here, which is down over here in his yard, next to the pad that I built here. This is the pad that I built in the video a couple years ago. As you can see, the pad is doing really good. The shed is nice and level. A lot of people ask me how I did it with all lasers and all that, but I don't know, I got it pretty close, I'd say. As you can see over here, this is where I was talking in that one video how I had to build this whole back corner up because of the slope in the yard here. So I built all this whole corner up, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. It's all holding up really well, turned out good. Over here, he's got an old fire pit that he wants me to get rid of. It's all lumped up. He's been mowing around it. So I'm gonna scrape all of this off, clean it up, and there's like a divot right here. So if I don't have enough dirt when I scrape it up to make this smooth, I'm gonna grab some topsoil that I have back here. This is all the topsoil that I dug out from digging this pad right here a couple years ago. If you guys want to see that video, I will link that one right here as well. Other than that, he's got his new fire pit here, and he wants me to get rid of this pile over here. I guess this pile was from when my brother actually came up here, and he cut this big tree right here. He topped it, and the same with this bigger pile over here, which was left over from my brother came up here with an excavator, and he dug out this ditch, trenched it all out, turned out really nice. If you guys remember from when I first started my channel, I did a lot of work on this property. The woods used to come up to like way over here. I used my tractor and I cleared all the land, all the woods, trees, brush, got it all out of here. We cleaned it up. It was like a, I don't know, 6-part video series, maybe a 4-part. If you go down in one of my side job playlists, you'll see them all in order, start to finish. But anyway, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I think what we'll do is start on a driveway here first and get that done, because that's the bigger job. That's the main job, why he's got me over here. And then when we get done, we'll move those couple piles around, get them thrown into the woods, and maybe we'll even get some topsoil from the old pile there and clean up some of these areas, smooth them out a little bit. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on the tractor here and get to work. All right, guys, we got the walkway all made up. Looks really nice. Took me a little bit to get it level because there was a big dip right here in the lawn. Pretty tough back dragging. Every time my tire hit this low spot right here, it would tip my bucket and whatnot. But I got it pretty good with the bucket, and then I went around with a rake and raked it up. Looks really nice. Big difference from what it looked like before. So now we're gonna go ahead and use the rest of this, fill in all the low spots in the driveway. A big portion of it's gonna go over here in a big low spot where I showed you guys in the beginning when you pull out, and then we're gonna use the rest to just kind of dress this driveway up a little bit, clean up these edges, re-spread it in front of this wood pile here, which always gets destroyed when he chops the wood. So we'll clean that up. He wants it spread back over top of this front area here, so it looks nice. Probably can put a little bit more over here by the garage door. Looks like it could use a little bit in front of the door here. So yeah, let's get going. All right, guys, we got the tractor all loaded back up again. Got her strapped down. Show you guys real quick here what we got. So here's the driveway. That's what it looks like now. You can see there's no more giant low spot here pulling in. That low spot was right around here. Because it was pretty low here, and I know this is gonna settle down some, so I left it just a tad high. As you can see, it looks really nice going out. And with that 5-ton, I was able to resurface the entire driveway, so it all matched. All the stone matched, because even though the stone is the same, it's going to take a while for it to blend in and match. So I was able to spread that whole 5-ton out, spread it real thin in some areas just so it looks nice. Looks like a fully finished driveway again. You can see this side here where it was dropped off real bad, and the grass was growing in. I cleaned that up, knocked that high spot down that was right here, and spread some fresh stone over here. Made that nice and level now. I did the same thing over on this side. It was the same deal. Was kind of tapered off, and there was quite a bit of grass starting to grow in there, so I just cleaned it up, made it look nice, and spread some fresh stone out there, leveled it off a little bit. Same thing in front of this door here. This was getting pretty skimpy on the stone. I actually remember last time I was here, it was kind of an afterthought for him to have me spread stone over in front of this door, because he never used to have stone in front of it before, and I didn't have a whole lot of stone left, so I just made do with what I had, and I spread it, and I think that's why it was pretty low here. So now that looks really nice. He's got a nice driveway going into his garage there, and here's the pathway. He's got a nice L now coming off his driveway. I didn't want to make it too wide, because he said around the width of my tractor bucket, but I want to make it wide enough to where if there's a couple people walking together, one's not stepping in the lawn, especially if it's wet and muddy out like in the spring or fall. Leveled it off with the stairs here. I did use my shovel after I dug it out with the tractor to clean up all the edges and get all the dirt away from the stairs and whatnot, so it's dug down enough. I made it particularly deeper over here in front of the stairs going back. Here it was kind of ramped up because this driveway used to extend farther, and I actually found the original base coming out this way, so I didn't have to keep digging once I found that base of stone. I basically just dug it deeper here and over this way because this is where it was purely sod. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice. I'll take you guys over here where we just finished up, where we had to move the fire pit, his old fire pit that was over here. So as you guys saw, I was able to scrape it right up with the bucket. His ground over here is all lumpy bumpy. It goes every direction, and I think he's gonna have me back at some point to put some more fill in here, because I mean it goes down and up and down and up, and over here it was down and then it went way up, so it's just all over the place. I mean, it's not terrible, but the reason this is like that is because this is one of the areas that I cleared the land on, and all this here was wood, just like that. There it was all woods all the way past this bush here, was like just in front of this tree. So he didn't have none of this stuff back here. From here, basically from the back of the shed over, he didn't have none of that. So I cleared all that, and it's still a little bit wavy from everything settling down and all the stumps and stuff that I ripped out of there. That's why there's some divots and whatnot. But I think he's gonna have me come back at some point and put some topsoil down and get this leveled off, or we could probably even use the topsoil he's got over there from where I dug that pad. But I basically just skim coated it with some topsoil, and I just want to do that so that when you throw some grass seed down, the grass will grow a lot easier than if you just left it with all that ash and stuff in there. Over here was where my brother had dumped some piles of basically mud from this ditch right here that he dug with an excavator last year sometime. So got that one moved and cleaned up. This one over here got pretty muddy as I started scraping up the pile here, and you could see here my tire track started to sink over here. It's always been really wet down here, and it was one thing I remember from when I cleared all this land. But yeah, we got this all cleared up, looks good. Kind of tracked over it just to kind of smoosh it all down, make it look nice again. So hopefully some grass will be growing here pretty quickly, and you won't even know none of this was there. So, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I gotta go to work tomorrow. It's back to work, so I want to go home and relax a little bit. It's about 5 o'clock now, so I'm gonna go home, relax, and hopefully get this video edited for you guys by this coming weekend. And I also got the forklift video. I got a bunch of videos that I've been making for the forklift as I've been putting that back together. So hopefully I'll have a video of the forklift coming out as well for you guys. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Nice getting out on the tractor again, doing a job with you guys. It's been a little while, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe as always. We'll see you guys in the next one.